Here with Northwestern State women's co-head coach Brooke Stoehr. Coach, coming off 2 big wins here at home, we head back on the road. Tomorrow morning, early bus ride down to Corpus Christi, where the Islanders have won 2 in a row at home. Longest road trip of the year in terms of Southland play. What do you expect to see from the Islanders, and how much is some of the previous road trips taken this year, how much does that work toward getting the team ready for a trip like this?
Well, Corpus is playing with a lot of confidence, obviously, having won their last 2 at home against McNeese and Lamar, 2 very quality opponents that were picked to do very well in conference play. Coach Chadwick has them playing extremely hard. I think the biggest thing for us is we've got to be able to handle their pressure, handle their traps and changing defenses. Their length, they're a completely different roster from last year. They've had a couple of injuries early on and lost some players to graduation. So it's a completely different roster from last year, but he has them playing extremely hard. You can tell that their chemistry is really good. Got a couple of players, older players, that are really stepping up kind of from a vocal and a leadership standpoint that you can even tell from film. So I think that's made a big difference for their newcomers to have those older players be able to do that. We've got to value the basketball, and we've got to be able to go make shots and then keep them off the free throw line and offensive glass. You
guys have done a really good job of making teams kind of go to their number 2 option or number 3 option scoring wise, especially in conference play. You did it to Shanice Steenholt at HBU. You've done it a couple of other times, but Shea Weaver is someone that can really, she's a volume shooter, but she can also fill it up. She had 35 against Houston Tillotson. So in terms of stopping her, in terms of looking toward that team, they have a core group of scorers, not very deep, but those are the ones I imagine you want to look at.
Absolutely, and Weaver's done a great job for them. She's their leading scorer, but she can put it on the floor a little bit. She can shoot the open 3. We've got to do a great job of kind of running her off the line, forcing her to make contested shots. She's gotten a number of open looks from their ball reversal and their penetration kicks, and we've got to do a great job of containing the dribble and keeping people in front of us and not allowing ourselves to get sucked in and create the kick out open 3s for her. So we've got our hands full as far as being able to limit her touches and easy looks at the basket.
At least your defense gets to go against someone that can do that pretty well every day in practice, and Janelle Perez. And she had another great week. Keisha Lee, another big game, Saturday rather. Just, again, your veteran backcourt knows what they're doing, and they've kind of led the younger players along. Tia Youngblood mentioned them after her game winner Wednesday is 2 of them who've really kind of helped push this team along.
Yeah, I think experience matters. You know, whether it's good or bad experience, I think experience matters, and that's something that you can't teach. And they've had a lot of experience. You know, I think our veteran leadership from the perimeter has been really big for us with Janelle and Keisha and Chelsea. We get down, you know, double digits and, you know, the first 3 games, and they just look poised, and they continue to play each possession like we asked them to, and just don't seem to get rattled. And a lot of that's just their experience, and that's a big plus for us. Janelle continues to attack defenses and get quality shots. I mean, she's shooting 50% from the field in conference play, and really looking for offense, but also creating a lot. I mean, she's also leading the league in assist to turnover ratio. And I think when you can get, you know, that kind of balance from your point guard, you know, it makes your offense pretty efficient. Presley Owens has also been very big for us inside, just so consistent, just not a lot of up and down, very consistent for us, and we know what we're going to get from her. So I think both she and Osmer inside, you look at the 3 seniors, Presley, Ariane, and Chelsea, and their leadership's been really good for us, and I think it's allowed our chemistry and togetherness to really shine through here in these first 4 games.
You spent a lot of time on the road before these last 2 at home. It's going to be a short road trip in terms of number of games, nothing short about going to Corpus, but you come back home and you look toward Lamar, and they're a team that's built back up. They're back toward the top of the conference standings. Obviously, you guys in first. You've got the target on your back, like you and Ted talked about this morning a little bit, but what do you see from Lamar, who will be here Saturday?
Oh, very athletic. You know, Desalu will run and jump, and they'll press. They're changing their defenses up a lot. We've got to be able to handle their changing defenses, handle their pressure, handle that run and jump, and really, you know, be able to attack and get some easy shots as a result of breaking their pressure. Offensively, they're going to, you know, they've got multiple players that can score the basketball. We've got to really attack them and force them to guard us, and kind of hopefully wear them out on the defensive end, so when we go on the on our defensive end there on offense, we've really got to make them work for quality shots.
And I know rosters change from year to year as just a part of being in college athletics, but definitely some good memories from the last time you faced Lamar down in Katy.
Well, absolutely, and I think our game at Lamar last year kind of jump-started our run, going into those last 6-7 conference games and then the 3 in the tournament. Just started playing some quality basketball and being more consistent. But they're well coached. They're a tough team. They play very hard, and it'll be a tough contest for us here on Saturday.
And it's another doubleheader, which I know both you and Coach Mike are fans of, and I know you'd prefer to play them all the time. But we saw it toward the end of your game against UIW. You saw the fans coming in, and then obviously the atmosphere that was here. So for the men's game, you get a little spillover, and I know that's something you like because it gives your team a chance to play in an atmosphere you may see down the road, like down in Katy, or possibly even looking for that, like your NCAA tournament berth last year at Tennessee.
Absolutely. I think anytime that we can get those doubleheaders, number one, it's great for our community and our fans to be able to come one day and watch 2 games and watch student athletes compete their hearts out and just give everything they have for this university and for both programs. I thought we had a great crowd on Saturday as far as school being out and students not being back in town, so we appreciate that. I think hopefully everybody understands how important it is to have fans in the stands, making a huge difference for us. Our players can feel that, we can feel that, and Prather gets pretty loud at times, and it's a very, very tough venue for opponents to come into, and if we can make it loud like that every night, whether it's a single game or a doubleheader, we hope that we can get that.
Tomorrow night could be a big milestone for Coach Mike, looking at 600 wins, but on your team, Keisha Lee, 29 points away from 1,000 points in her career. You having played this game in college, those round numbers mean a lot, especially when you get to 1,000. Can you kind of just put that in perspective for what that means for her and what that says about her career?
Well, I think, number one, she's played a lot of minutes from the start. Sat out her freshman year, redshirted for medical reasons, and then played the first year we were here and then last year. And she's played a ton of minutes and has been a great scorer for us, someone that we look to for offense. And I think if, all of our players understand that those are important moments for them individually, but I think Keisha would tell you, hey, as long as we get the win, I'm not worried about any of that. But it's a great milestone for any player to achieve, and we're certainly proud of her and hope she can score a lot more points as we go forward. But going back to Coach Mike and 600 wins, I'm going to have to coach a long, long time to reach 600. But that just speaks of just the excellence that he's had throughout his career and will continue to have for a long time.
I know you guys as staffs are very close with him. And what do you take from someone like Mike when you look back at his career, what he's done here, what he's done at Bossier Parish?
Well, experience. I mean, he's probably seen a little bit of everything. And Scott and I were actually talking about it last night, just his ability to know his guys so well and to know, sitting there going, okay, they just gave up 101 points and won. That would drive me crazy, but he knows his guys so well and he knows what works, and it's obviously worked very well for him. And just the daily wisdom of dealing with players, dealing with budgets, dealing with so many different things, he's been tremendous to us and since we got here, and has really helped us in a lot of ways. I'll remember one of the greatest pieces of advice he gave us when we got here was just know who you are. Know who you are. And I think that sounds really simple, but from a personal standpoint, know who you are as a coach, know who you are as a person, and then know who you are as a program. And I think that that's something that we've really kind of held tight to and have tried to figure that out and kind of impart that to our team as well.
All right. Thanks, Coach.